won't work quite as good up there.
He's heading into turn 3. They're side by side. He's underneath the white line. Oh, he wiggled. Here comes Biffle on the high side.
Oh,
look out. Oh! Pinched. This is going to be big. Keselowski
watch your mirror, crosses out.
Survives it. But the 18 of Denny Hamlin does not, and neither does Biffle.
I don't think Denny Hamlin saw Biffle on the outside.
I think you're absolutely right.
And I'm not sure he could do anything about it in that position because your car gets so loose coming up out of that corner.
What happened here? 16 got to run.
There's a lot of cars on the lead lap now, and this 18 car is going to finish behind most, if not all of them.
We have 30. We have 30 cars on the lead lap. Carl Edwards right now is second.
Biffle's car is torn up pretty bad too.
Although he is still rolling, he's got damage.
Yeah, he's going to have to pit. Yeah, he's got a lot of smoke coming out from under it.
This could have some
What do you think he was doing there, Joel?
Points implications.
Well, he's got Kyle Busch's spotter, so I'm not sure. You know, it's like you said, it's the car. It's probably not the driver. Must be the car.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, folks.
Hard racing.
Yep, you read into that.
Well, that's a move that Greg Biffle's making. You're taking a chance that either the driver or the spotter is letting him know that you're making this move. Yeah, Denny Hamlin sees the car on the inside. It's a very vulnerable spot Greg Biffle puts himself in, but he's going for the win.
You know what, guys? We always talk about risk reward. This year's Indianapolis 500, Mario Marias and Marco Andretti in the very first lap, the same kind of deal, and the risk wasn't worth it at that time. But now we're talking about 9 laps to go in this race, and Biffle is trying.
Yeah, he's just trying, and you can see Denny Hamlin was having to use the whole racetrack to get out of that corner without getting out of the throttle. He's going to be able to clear the 88, but he didn't know that Greg Biffle had come up on his outside.
Look at the move Keselowski makes to stay out of this, though.
Yeah, he does a great job. We've seen him a number of times benefit racing hard up front, and he comes out in the front a lot of those times. He does a terrific job.
Still there. Enter door. 16's going outside. Him 2 outside. 2 outside. 2 outside. 2 outside.
Wow, good job.
Come on. Caution's out. Watch your mirror. Caution's out. Keep digging there. Nope. You ain't got any damage, Brad. You're good. Just back her down there. Back her down.
Yeah, Brad's car really losing the nose coming out of the corner here probably benefited him because he had to lift out of the throttle right here. He was going to get into him, so he has to lift. That allows him to dodge those guys. Wow. Carl Edwards does a great job also.
We can tell you Jason Leffler will get the lucky dog, but he's 5 laps down, so it's not really going to help. He's 31st.
Yeah, we made it.
They see their guy come through. Pops never changes anything. How about Carl Edwards' view on this?
I mean, he had a good seat for this.
Stay low here. Stay low.
So lucky was Greg Biffle. That's Denny Hamlin to his inside. He comes right across Biffle's nose, taking Biffle to the inside wall, and Joey Logano, our pole sitter, involved. Greg Biffle tweeted that he was in turns 3 and 4 and found himself in the middle of a 3 wide, and that Denny Hamlin came right across him, Daryl.
Down here, Denny Hamlin, hard in the wall.
That was a hard hit for Hamlin.
Oh, my. I think something happened to the car.
I think, yeah, probably a tire, if I had to guess.
He was running 5th as caution comes out at lap 221.
Man, he
4th
slammed
caution
that
flag.
Heel hop.
Unbelievable. You watch him come down the front here.
Oh my! I mean, he does a heck of a job holding on to it, but still just carrying too much speed there. We saw this happen in qualifying with Trevor Bayne. You drive in, and when you get on the brakes, especially depending on your brake balance, if you got too much to the rear, we get what we call wheel hop. And the rear tires just start to lose grip and chatter going in there. You lose control of the car. Can't slow the car down and in the wall.
11 hard into the wall. We talked about pushing the limits in qualifying. I just talked about Kyle Busch turning early, trying to leave straighter. And that was traditional. But when you do push these limits, this is what happens. This is the result of something being different at the racetracks, trying something different. That's that's what happens. As a driver, you have to push the issues. The negative is when you push that issue, sometimes things don't work out, like we see right here with Denny Hamlin.
Back it down easy.
Man, that car went for a ride, guys.
Heard the tire let go, Darrell, right past start-finish line.
That thing
And
never
caution
slowed down.
is out with 12 laps to go. I heard the tire let go right about here.
You're just along for a ride as a driver right there.
It must be a left rear, Mike, because both right sides looked up.
I think the right front went after maybe he slid through.
Watch how fast he goes through here.
Luckily, that splitter was digging in and really slowing the car down.
Yes.
Wow. Bam.
And he missed the end of pit wall.
And then it
Both
spins
which,
around
along with this wall, protected by a safer
You can see
barrier.
the right front pop right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was no smoke inside the car, so usually if you're going to have a cut tire, there's going to be smoke at some point. Everything looked all clear, and for it to go that long before it cut, I don't know if it's directly that or we ran over something, but either way, tough day for our FedEx office.
All of these drivers are in a secure qualifying.
Oh, there you go.
Hard, one car into the wall, and that's Carl Edwards.
Or is that Carl?
Wow.
Regan
Did you
Smith
miss
gets
it?
tagged. Denny Hamlin involved. That changes everything.
21 spun.
Had that group minded their P's and Q's, they all would be in the Daytona 500.
Oh, my.
And now we're under caution for the first time in the first Budweiser duel. Very, very hard contact with the outside wall for Carl Edwards, who has dropped the window net. And that is a signal to safety workers that he is okay.
See if we can get a look here and see exactly what happened.
There's Carl Edwards.
Comes to pack around. He kind of pushes up off the bottom there a little bit. Looks pretty good at this point. Oh, Hamlin, looks like Hamlin got loose first. Not sure why. Have to look at it again.
But he definitely got loose and came down into Carl Edwards' right rear quarter panel.
Let's see if we can get a better look here.
Now that's Michael Waltrip alongside Carl.
Oh, the 11 just gets, he's just spinning out. He gets loose and starts to spin.
Yeah, he got no help from the 21 whatsoever. He just got loose, it looked like.
Now further back was Dale Earnhardt Jr. Back about 12th position. Let's ride along.
Get the help here. Use the air off that 22. You'll drive right back by him here. There you go. Keep coming, keep going, keep going, keep going. Good job, man. Good job. Caution's out.
That is a great piece of driving, folks. Didn't panic. See there, the 11 just gets around. And Larry, when you're really tight off a 2 over there, you got a lot of wheel in the thing, and when the front end finally does take a little bit of a bite, the thing it'll come around with you like that.
And Denny Hamlin, one of the drivers, his crew, they put 4 fresh tires on that car under that pit stop.
Junior makes it through, and Trevor Bayne runs out of room in the 21.
A lot of trouble.
Earnhardt looks like something went right through the radiator or oil cooler.
Yeah,
he's involved with Hamlin, Almirola, Allmendinger, and is that Patrick up by the wall?
Yeah, it's Danica up there.
Hey, we got some bad luck. What the happened right there?
There's the 11 and the 10. Hamlin and Patrick going down into 3. Ooh, Denny
gets a little loose.
Yeah, he just shot up. He shot up the hill.
Oh, and then Earnhardt got into the back of Casey Kane.
And there's Allmendinger. He got into it.
Almirola.
Wow. I think the 88's probably going to have to go to the garage. He's got a busted radiator.
Can you see the back end? Oh, he wheel hops a little bit right there. You know, we talked about Denny having some issues wheel hopping here last year.
Yep.
Looks like that might have caught him again.
Let's ride with Eric Almirola.
Somebody caught him right in the left rear and spun him around.
Yep, right up.
You know, I don't think her car was damaged. She was running 13th, spun around up to the top, and then got going once things cleared out.
It looked like she had some fuel, raw fuel in the exhaust. It was causing some issues getting it started and a little bit of a fling.
3 wide. Oh, Hamlin! Denny, teammates Denny Hamlin and Tony Stewart. Stewart, who was going for his third straight win.
Oh, there's still wrecking. There's Junior.
That's what Kyle talked about on the pre-race show. There's one wreck, and then there's the follow-up wreck. And Junior is in it.
And
Sorensen also in it.
And that's a perfect example of the wreck being at absolute at the front of the pack. And people behind them trying to avoid them running over each other.
Well, as you can see, Stewart had no place to go. He had no time to even react.
Denny Hamlin, last week's winner. Steering wheel off.
See the 11 car. Stewart's got a really good run, and it looked like he got in the back of the 11 car, Kyle.
Yeah,
that wasn't an arrow loose. That was a touch.
As a car owner, that is a nightmare come to life.
Nightmare, exactly. And see these guys back here, like I was talking about, everybody's checking up and they got no place to go.
On board with Tony Stewart.
Definitely contact there. He just, he had a good run. That's when you're making time up on a guy like that. Sometimes when you're coming up on him, especially in the corner, you'll get that guy loose. And Hamlin may have had to lift just a little bit because Tony Stewart got him loose to begin with. But still, in the end result, he hit him.
And you don't expect somebody to lift that late up off a corner either. Now, I'm going to give Tony the benefit of the doubt on that one. Once you get out that far, you figure you got 15, 20 feet to catch it if it jumps out from under you. It's not going to go all the way to the top of the racetrack. Look how many cars are on pit road over here to the right. Look how many cars just came down pit road, locked it down, and came down pit road.
You can come down pit road. You must make an attempt to reduce your speed. You can also go below that yellow line, which is out of bounds normally, but you can go below it to avoid the wreck. Matt Kenseth through the grass, Greg Biffle through the grass. Larry?
Guys, let's go back to the Daytona 500 in February. Obviously, much later.
Martin Truex. Whoa, trouble on the back straightaway. Boyer got into the back of Denny Hamlin. Around he goes Hamlin.
Hamlin's going to clean off the banking. And now the 41 car's in trouble going into turn 3.
Kurt Busch off the wall, and miraculously, all those onrushing cars at 160 miles an hour all missed Denny Hamlin.
I'm not sure why, but Clint Boyer just ran into the back of Denny Hamlin and turned him.
Sixth caution of the day, lap 386.
Not a good day for the Gibbs boys. You'll see back here, Mike, the 15 right here. He gets up under the 11 car and just gets into him, and it sits Denny Hamlin sailing right here. He loses it. I thought he had it, but he got down on the inside and must have got dirt, trash on his tires, and back up in the track he went.
Miraculously, everybody missed him, but further down track, Kurt Busch spun up and into the wall.
Up the racetrack. And the 11 goes around. They wreck behind him. Did they get to the overtime line? They haven't got there yet. Has the caution come out yet? Now the caution comes out. The question will be, did the caution come out after he crossed the overtime line? A lot of damage to the 27 of Paul Menard. The 11 of Denny Hamlin. We saw smoke rolling out from underneath the 11. Turn 3, and bumper goes to the back of the 11 again.
Way up the racetrack.
Oh, into the wall goes the 11. The 24. Half-second lead over Chase Elliott. A 7/10 of a second lead over Martin Truex Jr. And there went the tire. The 11 goes into the wall.
Some guys, you're okay, Denny? Keep it up there. Keep it up there.
Raj, but take a look at where this came from.
Yeah, look how high up the racetrack they are, and 24 car, and run way up the racetrack, got into the back of the 11, and came off the corner, and just didn't give the 11 any room, and obviously he feels like it was warranted from what happened in Martinsville.
And then goes down in the corner. You see right here the left front tire flat. Nothing the 11's going to do. Pretty solid contact with that safer barrier.
Jeff, as a driver, are you calling it hard racing between the 24 and the 11? Because that's what I saw as far as the build up to that last turn. It wasn't just that last turn. We saw the 24 all over the back bumper of the 11.
Listen, this is about Martinsville. That's what this is about. Chase Elliott ran him very hard. Was in the back of him many times. We saw that. We don't see Chase Elliott racing like that very often. And this was Chase Elliott saying, hey, look, you took a
Newman, Keselowski, Hamlin, Harvick, Truex, and Schrader.
Truex, big loser here. He had raced his way into the top 10 in points where he was running earlier. Really hard to tell. I mean, it looked like the 11 was slow getting in the corner.
Looked like he tried to get up there. Thought maybe the 55 got a little bit loose getting there, and Jimmy was trying to maybe avoid that somehow. Okay.
11 and 55 there.
Yeah.
Tire down on the 11, right front maybe after that contact.
Definitely a stack up. Oh man, there's a lot of good cars got torn up here.
Yeah. Well, maybe a little bit more than brushed.
Oh. Whoa. We got all kinds of
carnage.
Trouble.
We got carnage.
Denny Hamlin in the 11, Jeff Burton in the 31.
Oh, he loses an engine right there.
And that's the fluid that Jeff Burton and Denny Hamlin got into.
Watch this. Jeff Burton tried to take evasive action.
Denny Hamlin, Darian Grubb, they'll be going to a backup car for this 11. And I
be ready. Ready. Green. Green flag. Rolling. Everybody's rolling. Give me a little push. Sit in front of you. He's on the bottom. Green is out. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Green is still out. Yellow's out.
Denny Hamlin spinning around, contact, chain reaction on the restart here. And Hamlin, who was the leader, Montoya behind him, Jimmy Johnson behind him, and there's damage now on his Toyota.
Yeah, he caught the end of that pit wall, and it's made some significant damage to the front end. Man, what a bad break for Hamlin.
Yeah, Montoya
it's going to be a good break for Tony Stewart. Now he does get that lap back.
Yeah, Montoya got a good run, and he was being pushed by Jimmy Johnson, and it looked like as Hamlin tried to make a block on those guys that there was some contact.
Yeah, the 48 and 42 were in contact as they came across the start-finish line on the restart. Show you again what happened as Hamlin takes his car directly back to the garage area to get some repairs. Here they are coming down and coming across. Now watch the right side of your screen, the 42 and 48.
See, Hamlin gets out, and he's trying to cut down and cut that spot off there. Montoya was there.
Yeah, and he was getting a good push from Jimmy. You see, that's where the damage comes from, the end of that pit wall. If he just could have slid just a little bit farther, he'd have been okay.
Mark Martin's vantage point looking down, and you see the contact there as Hamlin goes sliding.
I don't really understand it. If you're wanting to protect that inside, why don't you get down there and start there? He had his choice as to where to start, so I think that right there was just a mistake by Denny Hamlin.
Just a slight miscalculation.
Yeah.
There's the impact against the end of the pit wall. Pretty significant impact. Remember, even though the restart, they're still going well over 100 miles an hour.
Oh, man, if he could have just gone just another foot or two, he could have missed that and had no damage at all. Tough break for Hamlin.
There. Yeah, and if they clear Tony, it's going to be over.
That was a good move by Tony.
Oh, wow, who was that? Denny Hamlin out of shape. Here's the big one. A number of drivers involved as they come down toward turn one.
Hold the brake.
Oh, wow, that was a ton.
This is big.
Man, was that Ambrose? Somebody hit a ton up there.
That was big. Biffle got hit a little bit and got sent back across the racetrack into the 11 car, I think is what we'll see.
Trevor Bayne, one of the drivers involved.
And the second wreck of the night for him.
Window net going
He's got caught in
down.
2 of them.
That's a sign to safety workers that he is okay.
Wow.
Get out your pencil, because there's going to be a long list of competitors that had their night come to an end on this one. Joey Logano, Clint Boyer, among those involved. And there's the Boyer car.
We said earlier, when this thing gets down to this stage, it's all take and no give, and that's what happens when you get to that place. Everybody's just trying to did not realize that the 18 car was in it. What a great night that Kyle Busch has had until this point.
And he was the wild card leader coming into this race was Kyle Busch.
Watch the 16, yeah.
Yes.
And Hamlin just gets a big run. Got tapped. Did he get tapped by the 5?
It was close.
It's hard to say from that angle. It almost looks like he gets the 9. Look at the 9 car. Go back up the racetrack. Oh.
Yeah, David Gilliland, Dave Blaney, Martin Truex Jr. Saw Hamlin was involved. The damage for Kyle Busch, Juan Pablo Montoya.
And that's one thing, too, when these cars don't change direction very good. I think he went to turn to the left. It almost looked like Biffle maybe went down a little bit, but regardless, when you turn these cars as hard like that to avoid something, it's hard to keep them straight.
Yeah, it almost looked like I couldn't tell where the 5 car was, but it's like Denny came down across the hood, and the 11 and the 18 really looked like they got together more so than the 5 car involved. That 9 car took a tough hit, and all these guys had no place to go.
And this time, it's the 11 of Denny Hamlin.
And Denny's had some troubles here.
Ooh.
And he hit
into it this time, yeah.
Yeah, he did get over there. You can see it's some right side damage. You see that spoiler, the right rear corner. Yeah, beat him pretty bad. It's hard to believe those tires can do that much damage.
Hamlin got a great launch off the outside.
He's going to go up the middle. Look at this, 3 wide.
Well, Kyle Larson wasn't going anywhere. Hamlin had to make himself some room.
No.
Oh,
That
no!
ain't gonna work.
Lock it down right there if you can.
Are you kidding me? How crazy was that when the 2 cars started to spin? It's like it took the air off the 11.
What in the world?
That was one of the wildest spins I've ever seen by 2 cars that weren't really touching one another.
Well, there's 11 right here in the middle trying to go 3 wide. He gets up in there.
It's a bold move, really aggressive. I mean, I
22
like
gave
the idea.
You see that? A 22 gave the 42 a shot.
It sucks the 2 around, but look how it turned him.
Sucks
the 2 right around, and the 11 goes into the 42, and here comes Logano, and bam, right into the 11.
Joey Logano, wrong place, wrong time.
There he goes around, but then that just shoves the 11 sideways, and he goes up into get into
I
Kyle
understand
Larson.
why the 2 got sideways. I just never could imagine why that 11 turned sideways like that, but hey, that's the risk you're going to take when you take it 3 wide in the middle.
All right, you're riding with
Trying to go 3 wide bottom, 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 3 wide. Take.
Trouble turn 2. Martin Truex Jr., David Reagan, and now Denny Hamlin.
I just thought Denny's day was bad.
There's Cole Witt.
A lot of damage there in the 11. Wow. It looks like he may have got a little loose underneath Allgaier. Yep, got into the side. Oh man, that 34 just pounded that wall. Here comes Hamlin.
Somehow couldn't get fuel in the car. There was something going on, dry brake, or I'm not sure what it is, but couldn't get fuel in it, and that pretty much set the tone for the rest of our day. No one can really make a mistake in 3 races, and unfortunately no one did. It just we had a mechanical failure that really hasn't bitten us in a while, and it's untimely, but we're going to keep digging with our FedEx ground team, and proud of these guys' effort trying to get this thing back on the racetrack, but frustrating to say the least. Obviously we were looking to stretch things out here. We had a great car running top 2 all day, and it's just part of it.
Hamlin edges ahead. They touch! They touch, and here comes Kyle. Hamlin, Logano in the middle. Hamlin spins down the racetrack, and Kyle Busch wins in California.
I am not surprised. I was hoping that wouldn't happen, but I'm not surprised. Denny's got his window net down. I think he's fine.
And that's a good sign to the rescue workers that he is okay.
Watch his car. Watch the back of the car. Ooh, I mean, the whole car just came up off the ground.
That's not payback. That's 2 drivers racing hard for the win and refusing to lose.
I'd fire both of them if they didn't do that.
Oh. Problems for Denny Hamlin.
I'm not sure where that's at.
So is that over off a 4 coming down the chute there? Here's the issue with Denny Hamlin.
He got tagged. In order to hit that angle, he got hit.
On board with Tony Stewart.
Oh,
there it is. And Tony wheel hopped as Denny Hamlin was coming, across him.
Yeah. Denny kind of opens up the lane there, and Tony thinks it's going to be a lane, and then when it starts wheel hopping, there's nothing he can do, and Denny comes back over.
If it could go wrong, it has gone wrong for that 11 team in the last few weeks. And look at this, a little fire from where Denny Hamlin was sliding through the grass. Tough day for Denny Hamlin.
These racetracks aren't, we don't race on dirt, so let's be real clear.
Whoa, Denny Hamlin's lost it.
Wow.
Into the wall.
And he was on a pole run coming out of the carousel turn 5. Now, we were watching the tracker right here. He was on the pole at this point and just gets away from him late exit of turn 5. He almost keeps it out of the arm core barrier, but unfortunately not. So this is the final lap that these drivers will make before taking the green flag tomorrow.
And it's going to be interesting to see if they can fix this thing or go to a backup car, because obviously he hit it with the right front pretty good. And as far as the lower suspension points, body panels and stuff, it's creased pretty good.
I'd be shocked, as long as NASCAR will approve it, that they don't go ahead and go to a backup car. That would be a lot of work to do between now and in the morning.
That's a pretty solid hit right there. You see the right rear stick out from under the fender.
You're riding with Denny Hamlin. You can hear the tire down and see the car vibrating because Hamlin took a wild ride into the turn 3 wall. Watch the 11.
Yeah, he just gets in here and you watch his car. It just right front lets go and bang. Man, he was doing, I bet you, at least 150 miles an hour headed in that corner.
Here's Mark Martin's view.
Yikes. And Darrell, I said it kind of jokingly earlier. Montoya blew his in the middle of the straightaway. Denny Hamlin blows his going into the corner.
Hamlin's. Ooh.
Killed it.
Hamlin's first 3 Cup races at Dover, he finished 11th, 9th, and 4th. The last 3 races, no better than 38th.
Didn't hear too much of what you said, but I tell you, that was a pretty hard hit. I didn't have any warning at all. It's just our car is actually pretty free that run.
Whoa! Contact for the lead. Hamlin into the wall. Oh, and collects another one. That's Junior up in turn 1, I believe.
They ripped the door off Junior's car. I couldn't tell what number it was.
Behind the wall,
There wasn't a number on it.
Racing for the lead. Gone wrong off turn 4.
You see Harvick trying to get a big run up out the corner, and I believe he just misjudged right there. He thought that Hamlin was going to be a little more speed on the exit of the corner there. He was just going to slide up in behind him at that point in time and just misjudged a little, whether it was the 11 had to be out of the throttle just a little. I'm sure Denny's going to say that he just got turned, that he was wide open.
Well, he did. He did get turned, really. I mean, I know that this wasn't intentional by the way you were watching it, but
you can see Kevin had every intention of just going in behind.
Don't get ass packed. Don't get ass packed.
Not paying attention. He didn't know that I had a cut tire last year, and he just thinks he knows everything and probably thought he knew everything again. And I just wish I had some kind of car left so I could show him the favor back. But I mean, we're not even halfway. We're racing for the lead. I don't know. It's a misjudgment. I mean, he's a good driver. He knows better. He just made a mistake.
That's very reminiscent of what happened here.
Oh, around goes Hamlin. And right in front of Boyer and into the wall hard goes McMurray and Jeff Gordon.
Not again. Jeff's car is destroyed.
Whoa.
Hamlin he just spins out. The car just came around with him.
Nowhere for Newman and 31 to go. You see Clint Boyer in that 15 barely squeaking by.
Boy, but you see Jeff Gordon, he almost had that wreck cleared and he caught the front of McMurray's car there, and that turned Jeff down the hill. Well, look at Harvick. He's struggling right there, and then here comes Hamlin. He just spins out. No, watch this. Here comes Jeff Gordon coming. Bam. He almost
had it missed.
Almost had it made.
Jamie McMurray got him, and then he hits the inside wall as well.
Those are hard licks, man.
Everybody scatters.
Uh-oh. Somebody in the wall.
Oh, Denny Hamlin.
Wow. God. That looked like no brakes, maybe.
That was no brakes.
And Denny climbing from the car.
Man. A testament to the safety of these vehicles and
he's out.
Yeah, it looks like it's
got some brakes.
The front brakes the left front's locked up.
It's almost like the throttle hung.
Gosh, man, that could have been. It could have been the throttle hung pushing the front tire. Man.
Look at how much it moved that guardrail, even through the tire barrier.
You can see the smoke from the front tires, like he's trying to get this car stopped, and maybe the throttle is hung partially. Man.
Yeah, those rear tires are still going hard.
Yeah.
Oh.
I feel better than I thought I would. I mean, it felt like it was in slow motion for me, but can't say enough for all the safety precautions NASCAR takes, and obviously the wall helped a lot. Getting that dampered the hit a little bit, but really encourage all these drivers to go 7-point safety belts. I had those, and it just it really softened the blow quite a bit. A lot of these guys run 5-point, and it's just not enough. So as a testament to all the safety stuff we have.
We saw the rear wheels sprinting, the front wheels locked up. Do you think the throttle hung?
No, throttle didn't hang. Something blew out in the left front, and when it did, it must have cut a brake line, so I had no brakes, and so I was trying to do everything I could to weave or anything I could to get the speed out of the car, and just there's nothing you can do. Front tires locked up and can't steer, but it's a shame. Our FedEx ground Toyota was really good all day, and just we're going to be right there about 4th or 5th in line on this restart, but wasn't meant to be today.
Crash on the track. Just Denny talking about Hamlin got Denny airborne. A.J. Allmendinger, Jeff Gordon, David Ruderman, Matt Kenseth all involved.
You see Denny down on the inside right there. That thing just turns right.
Yeah.
It's like
that was
something
strange.
That was really strange.
Wow. Kenseth did a great job not running into the door of the 11, but then the 51, just nowhere to go.
But for Hamlin, he goes nose first into the wall. Very similar to how he hit the wall in California when he suffered that compression fracture.
Yeah, but
a different angle.
But watch this right here. Here he is. The two cars, there's spacing behind him. The two cars behind him. He goes there. Wow. I don't know if the two car got into the back of him and sent him to the inside and he overcorrected.
It almost looked like the car in front of him slowed down.
Good point.
And he turned to the left, and that's when it spun him around.
But then, and then obviously everybody's trying to avoid him.
Yeah. Yeah, watch Boyer. You get the 11. It looks like these guys get, he just dove down.
Wow.
And then corrected maybe. Yeah, that's really a strange act. Man, Matt did a good job not hitting that car, but then he got clobbered.
See Blaney in that. And Blaney had a good run. Those guys had run in the top 10 or 15 a lot tonight in that 7 car.
Yeah.
Parked it way up. Oh my gosh, he got in it hard.
Kapow. Now, did he get on the brakes?
We're going to need a backup, guys.
Let's see what we got here,
Right
Jeff.
front's campered in.
Oh, boy.
Rear's tore out of hill.
Oh, something happened to the car. You see that? Almost like a left rear went down.
That was very strange.
That was
jumped
very
sideways
odd.
that early in the corner.
And the yellow flag is out. They're going to check turns 3 and 4 after Denny Hamlin gets up and into the wall.